so the visibility for this suspect to see ahead is quite well. And if they try, oh, he's coming up to it. He's turning into a shopping center area here. He was throwing some things out the window. We heard that. Now he's in this shopping center area here. Let's see what happens here. Valerio gas station right there. He's turning by. And looks like he may try to exit here. Might come to an end right here. And no, he has an exit. He's going to continue on here. Sheriff still in pursuit directly behind him. And now he's southbound, 10th Street West. And we're hearing that that front tire is down to the metal. So it's down to the rim, and you can see it there. Confirm that tire may come off. And there he goes. Now he's a left turn, eastbound, into a neighborhood here. Now let's see what happens here. If it has a dead end, I'm going to zoom out. And we'll find out that momentarily. He's going to try and make a U-turn, and they're going to stop him right here. This is it. He's going against the officers here. This is not good, but he's blocked in now. Let's see what happens. He's going to come out. Exiting the vehicle. Police have their guns drawn. And at this point, he's not complying with the officers. Sheriff's deputies there with their guns drawn. He's got a coat on. He's dropping the coat. And he's not complying. His hands are straight down. That's not good. That's not good. He's reaching down underneath. This is not good. I'm going to zoom out here so that we don't show anything too graphic. But again, this is a very dangerous situation. He just threw something out of the car there. And we're continuing to see this suspect not complying with officers. His hands straight down to his side. A little dangerous situation here. I'm going to oh no, it's back in the car.
I believe.
Jess, where are you calling? Ah, he's back in. No, we're good here. Let's stay right here. Oh, shots are being fired. Shots are being fired into the vehicle. You can see officers coming around their cars. It looks like it's a code 4 at this point, meaning the suspect is going to be in custody here momentarily.
A dramatic end to a car chase in California. The driver, who was reportedly armed, got out of his car and tried to run. Stu Mundell, the pilot of our CBS station's helicopter, narrates from above.
I have no idea what this guy's doing. But you have to remember right now, you know, it's been kind of a little goofy as we've been following this vehicle around. But we do remember that this person is said to have a weapon. This whole thing started out with a weapon. Apparently this person had a gun. Oh, there he goes. Now he's running on foot. LAPD a little bit slow to respond there on the run. You know, he's on his phone, so he's not taking that run too serious. But continuing here, running on foot. This is going to be on Crenshaw Boulevard. LAPD definitely chasing this guy. That guy right there on a motorcycle, not law enforcement. He's probably putting himself in quite a bit of danger of being arrested if that guy doesn't get out of there. Right now, though, you can see the number of officers out here, 13,000 block of Crenshaw Boulevard. Officers from LAPD using their vehicles as basically as cover as they're trying to take this guy down. SWAT units here on scene as well. Those are not less than lethal weapons. Well, there's one less than lethal. We see one shot being fired. He got hit by one beanbag, two beanbags. So this guy running definitely right now. You can see that laser, that green dot on him. That's going to be the less than lethal. Can imagine, pretty painful as they're pelting him with those beanbags and or whatever other things they're using right now to slow this guy down. Continues as a foot pursuit, and right now this guy just kind of figuring out that maybe perhaps best plan of action is just to do as they're being told. Down on one knee right now, doing the Christian cross. And He is, and you know what? We've been praying for him for a long time. Trust me. Right now, though, he's getting down on the ground. He's got his hands down. Probably he's finally starting to do what they're telling him. But take a look at the resources.
It's coming to an end in Jefferson Park. 4 suspects just bailed out of a silver sedan here in the Jefferson Park neighborhood. Here's one of them. We believe that's the driver in a white shirt there running through the neighborhood. There's another one in the alley adjacent to the big rig there. 4 of these suspects still at large here. We do not know why they are being pursued. The pursuit lasted for about 5, maybe 8 minutes before these 4 suspects. Now they're back together. First they spread out, but now they're back together. We may need to bring in some assistance for LAPD because I'm not sure if they know where they're at this point. There is one officer right there. Here comes the other 2 suspects are still running down the alley there, and it looks like the 2 officers are going inside that industrial building there to perhaps try to apprehend at least one of those suspects. But these 2 guys going westbound through this alley, they're out of gas now. Now they may just try to kind of act indiscreetly here and blend into the crowd. This is in Jefferson Park again. The Los Angeles Police Department pursuing a silver sedan when those suspects decided to pull over off of 32nd Street near Jefferson Park Boulevard and bail out. And now they're just kind of cruising around. It looks like they're going to try to hide out. We are going to stay on top of this and actually, looks like they're going to apprehend them now. Looks like the officers at gunpoint. And here's 3 of them, and they're all laid out now. So it looks like this will come to an end. And again, Steve, we'll watch this. He's actually trying to hide behind a car there. We'll make sure that guy gets taken into custody, too, in case they don't see him. Yeah, he's trying to scatter underneath that vehicle there. Sneaky there.
Doesn't have a chance there. Do they know he's there? Do they?
I don't know. We're gonna wait and see. I don't think so because there's a 1 officer running by. So we're going to alert the our pilot here is going to alert the LAPD airship and make sure they know he's hiding out underneath that car. They do not know he's there.
All right, we're going to stay with this for a moment longer.
Okay.
We know what they don't know right now. It's that odd situation. We know where the suspect is, and I don't think authorities do, so they'll be notified. But he's under that car. Tim, you want to jump in? You've never done this live news coverage here?
No, I never have.
Help me out here, Tim.
Tim,
help me
Somewhat
out.
of a play-by-play, if you will.
It's tough business.
It is tough
when
business.
you cover a pursuit because oftentimes you're talking about what you don't know.
Go ahead, Rick.
So let's go back. Let's go back to the black SUV. Right underneath that black SUV. Let's see if this officer sees him. Nope, he's walking right by. Our pilot's alerting the LAPD airship that he's hiding underneath that SUV there. Maybe these guys will tell him. But that guy is he's still outstanding, and they don't know he's underneath that car. The other 3 suspects in custody.
How did this begin? Do you know?
We don't know why the suspects were being pursued at this time. We just heard on a scanner. We listened to the scanners at our assignment desk and up here in the helicopter. We heard that there was this pursuit happening in Jefferson Park. We saw a number of LAPD squad units pursuing the silver sedan. 4 suspects bailed out, and they were able to get away for a time. They spread out, and then they came back together. There's the officers walking past that SUV again. So once again, hopefully they're going to relay what the LAPD airship will do. From our information is relay to the commander down below that we're hearing that our media friends up there in Skyfox, that there's a suspect hiding out underneath that SUV. Let's go back to the SUV, Vince. We'll pan the camera over to the left. It looks like they're somewhat aware now.
They're turning around, and I think they're walking back to the SUV. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the SUV kind of hidden by the power pole there. Here comes the 1 officer. And we're going to try to give them a more detailed description of that SUV and maybe even hone in on the license plate.
Well,
but he's talking on his radio now, so he's getting the information. He's getting the information from the LAPD helicopter.
And there are a number of black SUVs, so you have to be real specific.
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, we're trying to alert the one between the white pickup truck and the gold sedan there. And they're walking right past it again. So we'll see. So far, he's able to evade the police, and maybe he'll get up and start running again westbound down this alley. Again, this is in Jefferson Park. It was a short pursuit, maybe 5 minutes plus through Jefferson Park. We don't know why those suspects were being pursued. 4 of them bailed out, 3 in custody. Now they're looking for 1. They're on their radios. Again, we are relaying to the LAPD airship very detailed information. Now they're coming up, okay? Between the white, let's see if it happens now.
Yeah, this is a change right here.
Yep, they're going to look underneath that one, and at least Randall there. He said he just pointed. There he goes. He's got his guns drawn. There you go. We're going to get him. All right. Nice.
Okay.
And so what they're going to do now, they got to assume that this guy could be armed, so they're going to take the same type of positioning they would if they were approaching an automobile. So they're going to surround the car. They're going to draw their guns as they are. They're going to tell the suspect very specifically what he should do. And that would be, with his arms spread out the best he can, to crawl out from underneath that automobile so that they could apprehend him. They could take him into custody. And we'll see if that indeed is what happens here.
They're talking to him now and basically telling him, come out, and come out slowly, and come out.
There he comes. There he is on the left side. You're starting to see movement. And he's doing what he's told, it looks like. Hands up. Hey, hands up.
Uh-oh.
He should be having, his hand should be up right now. There he goes. Okay.
Okay.
So now what he'll do is he'll walk backwards. He'll lay out flat. They'll tell him to spread his arms and legs. And then if he doesn't run for it, he should not be turning towards the officers at all. He's not doing specifics here in terms of what he's being told by officers in terms of what the procedures are for the LAPD and apprehending a suspect. But there they go. All right, taking him into custody there. All right, I'm glad we were able to help out for once.
So we are going to Stu Mundell. He is live up in Sky 9 for a pursuit. Stu, what can you tell us right now?
Well, we can tell you that vehicle right there in pursuit by LAPD. This person apparently armed with a weapon. They actually may have seen the crime happen. LAPD might have witnessed it. You can see that car working very hard to get away from LAPD. The helicopter just joining. When I say helicopter, I'm talking about the LAPD helicopter. Is going to be over here in just a second. We're southbound on Arlington. We were in the Leimert Park area. Now we're working our way south out of the Leimert Park area. You can see very, very tight streets out here. Coming up in the Hyde Park area, you can see that vehicle moving very fast, tight streets. There's one of the LAPD units behind it right there. They're trying to get additional units, meaning other officers with the cars behind this vehicle, because they're saying that there may be more than one person inside that vehicle, and possibly maybe more than one armed person inside this vehicle. Very dangerous street traveling here. Southbound just through Van Ness. That's where we are right now. You can see that vehicle making a hard turn right there. It seems to be a BMW. You can see that one LAPD cruiser not actually being able to make that turn. So that car is a little bit more performance than what those cruisers have. That was on Hauser there for a minute, and now we're making our way northbound through a residential area. 67th Street is what we heard is what the street is right there. Vehicle still moving relatively fast. Then they are asking for the helicopter to possibly, the LAPD helicopter, to possibly take over in tracking mode. Hopefully this guy will slow down a little bit. Haven't seen him hit anybody yet, but he's been very close many times. Coming up on Gage right now, making another sharp turn, appears to be eastbound on Gage.
Stu, do we know, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, what was the original want on this?
Well, it's had something to do with a man with a gun. So that is a very dangerous type of call. And that might be one of the reasons why they will continue this pursuit. Even though they are talking about right now they're going into tracking mode, they're asking the units on the ground to shut off their lights and sirens and back off a little bit. So they are doing that. You can see that. But they're still going to be there right behind the vehicle or close by. You know, we've seen these in the past, and sometimes the tracking mode kind of calms down the driver a little bit. But in this case, an armed person, possibly with shots fired.
Yeah, understandable.
And well, now we're hearing that at least one weapon in custody, apparently threw it out of the vehicle earlier on. Other officers from LAPD picking up that weapon, but that doesn't mean that he might not have another gun inside that car.
Exactly, and you were saying, Stu, that we're not sure how many people are exactly inside in addition to that driver.
That's right. We're hearing possibly a passenger. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why they were asking for additional vehicles behind it, additional LAPD vehicles behind it. So the tracking mode may have helped out a little bit. It does seem like they're slowing down just a little bit, a little less reckless driving. But the vehicles that are behind it are their lights and sirens not on. They're just kind of staying behind it. We'll get you a turn right there. Looks like we're making a northbound turn. Eastbound turn, excuse me, and off of 48, that means off of 48th Street. Right now, the helicopter, the LAPD helicopter overhead, calling out the streets. And the thing I got to say about this is when they drive recklessly like this, the officers are kind of in one of those spots. They don't want anybody to get hurt. They don't want anybody from the public to be hurt. Making a turn right there southbound now is off of 48th Street. Looks like we're starting to make some blocks. Looks like he might know this area as he was kind of turning to avoid those dips. But what I was trying to say is when they get in these type of situations, the officers are they don't want anybody to get hurt. They don't want this car to crash. And they feel that maybe the officers behind the vehicle will help at least alert the public. So right now, we're watching this dangerous pursuit continuing in a residential neighborhood. I'm guessing, just looking out the window, if we're not in the Hyde Park area, we're right at the border of Leimert Park, but definitely making a lot of wild turns out here in a very, very residential area. Very tight streets. There you go.
Wow.
Look at that. Can't even make it by. Ooh. And the pursuit continues.
Yeah, and Stu, the producer is telling us this did start in Hyde Park, some sort of attack that went on. But all I could think about is this residential neighborhood. It's January 1st. A lot of families are outside, a lot of kids outside playing, and this person just driving like a maniac there.
That's so true, Chris. And this is what the officers think about as well. We just turned off of Gramercy. Take a look at how tight these streets are out here. If there was another vehicle, there's no way they could get through. Look at that car actually kind of barreling out of the way. There you go, another officer from LAPD, and you can see the ones that are right behind him. I haven't heard the words re-engage the pursuit, but it definitely looks like they are going to do that. One of the reasons why I got that wider shot, I just wanted to show everybody the helicopter above, keeping an eye on this as well. Got us way onto a major back. Another thing I have to tell you is it just gets worse for us up here. LAX is expecting a very heavy aircraft to be coming in here, one of those new double-deckers. And when those aircraft come in, they ask us to kind of get out of the way. So we're going to see what we can do to keep this... Okay, my pilot Brennan today telling me that as long as we don't go south, we're okay, but they were giving us advisories. So right now, we're making our way westbound on a major out here. We're leaving the Leimert Park area, probably getting into the Baldwin Hills area in Crenshaw. That's going to be the major right there, and through a red light. Whoa!
Oh!
There you go. Oh, that's what they were so worried about. And there you go. You have an innocent person just driving out here, a new... Going to keep an eye on the vehicle, doors popping open. Look, wow. Everybody just wants to give up now. If they would have done that earlier on, this would have been a much different situation. Looks like a female driver. We're going to keep an eye on these suspects, but we definitely want to keep an eye on that white vehicle. Very hard impact on the driver's side. You can see that wheel, the driver's side wheel actually pushed back. All the airbags in that car deployed. Right now, they have to make sure that these dangerous suspects go into custody before they can render aid to that civilian. But this coming to a crash out here on Crenshaw near 84th Street.
Oh my gosh.
48th Street.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the people in that white car. My gosh. But the good news is the female driver and the other person in the car are surrendering peacefully. Again, this started in Hyde Park, went into Leimert Park, ended right there in Baldwin Hills, I believe Stu said. Good news is it has ended, suspects surrendering. We're just hoping that the people in that white car are okay.
And it appears they're getting out of the car right now, and it appears that they are okay. I mean, it could have been much worse. They were driving through a neighborhood.
The latest car chase in Los Angeles looked like pure showbiz. Even LA police say they've never seen anything like it. Two suspects put the top down on a convertible, sped through the rain, and showed off for bystanders. Carter Evans shows us the joyride that ended with a curtain call and cheers from the audience.
You know, top down on the convertible, that's kind of nuts, but that's almost a funny kind of nuts. But what this guy is doing is really taking low.
In Los Angeles, car chases have become a familiar sight. They seem to happen all the time. But for these two men, running from the police turned into a bizarre scene right out of a Hollywood movie.
Whoa! You know, I don't know if this guy is showboating or what he's trying to do right there. Very dangerous situation.
The robbery suspects took police on a tour of some of the city's busiest and most iconic traffic roadways.
Their 15 minutes of fame might come to a sudden stop here.
Their blue Mustang doing donuts on Hollywood Boulevard. Speeding through intersections in Laurel Canyon.
TMZ, look at the tour truck. Oh, the tour bus is actually he's trying to get out of the way.
And snaking in and out of traffic on the 101 freeway.
High speeds, wet roads, car with the top down. These guys obviously just having a good time out here.
In restaurants and bars, people couldn't turn away.
Whoa, got some spike strips.
Even after hitting spike strips and getting a flat tire, they kept going. Eventually, these things do come to an end, and this time it was in South LA.
These two guys, their moment to shine.
But not before the suspects nonchalantly posed for a few selfies and some high fives. Fortunately for police, the two surrendered without resisting and with no reported injuries. For CBS This Morning, Carter Evans, Los Angeles.
Was it worth it?
A massive car chase bringing traffic in Los Angeles to a standstill for hours. An attempted murder suspect on the run, and ABC's Nick Watt is in LA with the latest for us. Hey, Nick, good morning.
Good morning, David. Well, the suspect was spotted by police driving in Compton. He was described as dangerous and probably armed and wanted in connection with an earlier assault with a handgun.
Oh, hits that side divider and just, wow, that really rocked him off to the right.
Overnight, a police chase shutting down Los Angeles Freeway 91, backing up traffic for hours.
This is getting very, very dangerous.
An attempted murder suspect leading police on a chase during rush hour.
It could get very desperate here.
Weaving in and out of traffic through multiple counties, slamming into cars along the way.
Okay, he did hit that car, made contact 2-3 cars, ripping the sides off, mirrors are flying.
Nearly a dozen patrol cars in pursuit of that black Mercedes. Police throw out a spike strip, but the suspect continues on. You can hear officers yelling at the driver. Tires all blown out, sparking, driving on rims.
You see the canines are coming out, the high-powered rifles are coming out, the shotgun's coming out. They are screaming commands at him to get out. But right now, this is the situation.
Police use a long pole to smash the rear window of the suspect's car. They drop in a canister of tear gas that sends the man fleeing from the car. A K9 unit takes him into custody. Still no ID on the suspect. That chase and standoff took more than 2 hours. The freeway didn't fully reopen until 10:30. Robin, thousands of drivers stuck on their drive home.
Quite a scene.